we've covered a lot of wild stuff.
We...
I think that is the single-handedly the craziest thing I have ever heard in my fucking life.
I want to know logistically, how does that happen? Do they have like a ship where like the bottom comes out and it just goes down? Like, or do they have to scoop it and dump it? Is it like a crane? Do they have to use a crane? It's a good question. Okay.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so... Oh my god. That's awful.
Oh god. The poor, like, could you imagine going home to your loving wife and she's like, all right, burn the clothes outside, use your outside shower, you can't come in until... Welcome to Ill-Equipped History, where two best friends tell you a wacky, crazy, sometimes stressful story from history. I'm Emileigh, and this is Morgan, my best friend.
Hi.
Oh my god. How are you?
I'm so good. As Emily can see, no one else can. I am finally in my recording room.
I was about to say something about it.
I'm still
so cute.
Working on decorations, but I've got my setup going. My therapist saw me earlier this week and she was so happy to see I have my setup. So I'm going to continue working on it. And we've just been doing stuff this week. We found out the night before last that, I found out over the weekend that my kitchen sink had a leak. And so we're like, no. I know. So Kyle and I and one of his really good friends who's a handyman went to Lowe's to get a new faucet to fix the leak. And then turns out there were two other spots in the piping underneath the sink that also were leaking, and the stoppers that turn off the water weren't turning off the water. So then we had to get new stoppers, and Kyle's friend fixed all of that for us today and worked on fixing the clog in our tub. So he was just doing the damn thing, and I was like, let me buy you dinner.
Yeah.
You know? And
there's
Kyle's
always something.
There's the joys of home ownership now.
Yeah.
There's always something. But we got it fixed, and now I can, wash dishes.
Yay!
Get those put away.
Oh, my God. It's always something. This week, I made a bunch of brownies, blondies, lemon cookies, and chocolate chip cookies for a golf tournament that's in town this week. And it's it was a pretty big order. It was fine. But, in the whole time, my sink thing, again, my garbage disposal decided to get all hung up, and I couldn't get it unhung up. So every time I did dishes, my sink would back up, and I just had to do one at a time while baking 200 baked goods.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's fine. And I still got it all done in 4 hours, so...
That's incredible.
I'm very proud of myself. I put on my spooky podcast and I was vibing, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm done.
Nice.
Yeah. But your bookshelf looks great.
Thank you. Eventually I'm going to have my neon sign that my sisters-in-law gave me, and maybe a picture of us to complete the look. I'm really excited.
I think it looks super cute.
Thank you. I had some family members come over today. They were giving us a new mattress, and I gave them the tour, and they're like, oh my God, I love your house. And I was like, I love my house too. I can't believe it's mine. So I still have waves of this is my house.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, speaking of houses. So guys, I flew down to New Orleans and helped Sarah and Jeremy move, our other besties. And on the way home, I know I have joked before that every time Nick gives me the reins to like driving, something turns to shit. The weather turns bad. Traffic is horrible. There's construction. There's always something. It'll be like free and clear. And then shit happens, right? Well, Jeremy drove the truck most of the way up. I mean, like 300 of the like 400 miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful and clear and sunny, and there was no traffic. There were no potholes, nothing. And he's like, hey, I need a break. And we were like in Birmingham, Alabama. And I was like, yeah, I got the truck, no biggie. And it was only a 15-foot truck. I get in this thing, and within 30 minutes, the sky's bottom falls out. There's construction, and there's Alabama potholes. It's so bad I had to get in the fast lane just because my kidneys were hurting. Like, everything was so bad. And he was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was going to do that. I'm like, I think it's me. I really think it's me. So we got to the house, and it was still raining. Like, it rained the entire time I was driving.
Of course.
But Sarah and I were vibing. We were, like, chatting the whole way, as you do. I mean, we weren't even out of Louisiana yet, and we were crying because we were just having some deep moments.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, like, singing Cher, and
how'd they like their gift? How'd they like their gift?
Oh, they loved it.
Oh,
they
good.
did love it. She walked in. Guys, I made Sarah a haunted house. I'll have to, I guess, post pictures or something of it. It's really cute. But she walked in and she said, what is that? What is that? I should have recorded it. But I didn't.
Oh.
Darn it. But anywho, yeah, they loved it. And they're like, and then on Monday, we unloaded all the stuff in between bouts of rain. So it's fine. It worked out. It's all in the house now.
Yeah. Were you able to do it in one day?
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes. We
were. The week I moved in, like Kyle and I were moving into our house, it rained every single day for 8 days.
It hasn't rained in months. We are like 8 or 9 inches behind schedule on rain. And it's only when you were moving and when we were moving them that it started raining. When we were loading the truck on Saturday, it rained every 30 minutes for 30-minute increments. So we would load for 30 minutes, close the door, run inside, organize, and then load for 30 minutes and had to do it all day long.
Yeah.
And my flight was delayed down there, so I didn't actually get to New Orleans till 3 a.m.
Oh my God. Oh no.
We didn't have a pilot. Like, the other one that was supposed to be there got delayed because of weather. So another random pilot was like, I'll come in, and had to like go home and pack a bag and then show up. We didn't take off till 12:30. I was worn out.
I bet you were. Yeah. Lordy. Well, you guys are welcome for breaking the drought because we had to move.
Yeah. It was like y'all moved and there was like, 4 or 5 days of like sunniness. And then that's when Sarah and Jeremy really needed to like hunker down and move. And it rained again. So you're welcome for watering your plants.
You're welcome. Yeah. Our we haven't mowed yet because, like, we didn't have a lawnmower, but the grass was fine because, you know, like, it wasn't getting crazy, and then it rained for a couple days, and now we live in a jungle.
Yeah. I mowed, like, 4 days ago, and I looked outside, and I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? Anyway, I don't really have a good segue into this, because you'll find out why. So let's just get into the skit.
Let's do it.
Okay. 1858, London. A family of farmers is coming into the city of London for the first time in search of new jobs and better opportunities. They finally make it into the outer edges of the city and move through the streets with their horse and wagon.
Where are we going again?
To the landlord's office to secure the house we will rent.
Why did we move again?
The farm failed, bud. But anyway, London has so many opportunities. We will be rich in no time.
Woo! I can't wait!
I'm so glad to get away from the smell of the cow poop. It was so bad. Could you imagine how bad it would be in this heat?
It's like I can smell it now. Wait. I do smell something.
Ew! What is that?
Oh my god, it smells so bad!
This is worse than the cow poop.
Is there something dead nearby?
They eventually make it to the landlord's office and secure their unit before asking what that awful smell is.
It's the River Thames. You might as well get used to it, 'cause you're only 1 block away. All of the units on the other side of the town are double. Double? I'm afraid so. Anyway, thanks for your business. Rent is due first of the month. Oh no. What have we done?
Morgan, have you ever heard of the Great Stink of 1858?
That is my my alter ego performance name when I go on stage. The Great Stink of 1858.
I promised Sarah that I would tell everyone that this was inspired by my recent IBS diagnosis. So this one's for you, Sarah.
Thank you for being vulnerable, Emily.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's a real shitty diagnosis. I bet it stinks, huh?
It does. Oh my god, it's oh, you're making my eyes run. Okay.
Like your butt?
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
I didn't mean to say that.
I am really crap at these jokes tonight.
I'm so sorry. You can cut that if you want to.
Oh, that's staying. No, that is
Oh, that was so mean. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Ooh, okay. Oh my god. Okay. Let's talk about London's expansion.
Okay. I can't stop laughing. I'm so sorry.
I know. Listen. This episode needs some levity because oh my god.
Okay.
Before we talk about the Great Stink of 1858, things like this don't just happen out of nowhere. So we do need to have some backstory as to what is going on in London and why it got so damn stinky.
To the point it was great. Greatly stinky.
Like it has a name. It has a title.
It's like the Great War. The Great Stink.
They made political cartoons about this. Like, it was bad.
Oh my god. Is that the Grim Reaper?
It is the Grim Reaper.
Oh no.
Oh no is right.
Oh.
Okay. So, we are in peak Victorian era. And if y'all didn't know, Victorian era refers to the time that Queen Victoria was in her seat of power, and that is from 1837 until her death in January of 1901. So she reigned for a good long 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the longest, or if not the longest queen, right?
Besides the most recent queen.
True. That's true. Elizabeth, yeah. But, so this Victorian era lasted from, like I said, 37 to 1901. And during this century, the London's population rose from 1 million to 6.2 million.
Holy
in
shit.
this century.
Holy shit.
So we are seeing like unprecedented amount of growth in this city. And this is, it was due from pretty much just immigration. People were flocking to the city for a multitude of reasons. And London had always been an attractive city to come to, as, you know, it drew in a lot of people. And some people even claim that they were like, the streets are made of gold. So, like, people are flocking to it like it's El Dorado or some shit. But starting in the 1760s, we are seeing an industrial revolution in London. And that lasted all the way until 1840. So around this time, the Industrial Revolution started to attract unemployed agricultural workers. And the Industrial Revolution also kind of caused the unemployed agricultural workers, because the farmers were able to get more technology. That would mean they needed less farm hands. Right. So those unemployed workers would come into the city to find work. Also, that new technology had to be made somewhere.
Right.
So it was kind of like this wheel, this, you know, whatever. So they were all flocking into the cities. And also another thing called the Great Exhibition of 1851 also helped people come into the city. It was pretty much just like a world fair, but it was supposed to just brag about Britain and its industrial and imperial power.
Look how great we are.
Look how great we are. Come to our city. And London is expanding in population, which means they are also expanding physically. You have to house those people. And those people have to have places to work and eat and buy things. So London was growing exponentially. And it started to become known as a monster city. At this point, in this time frame, it was the largest city in the world.
I can believe it, yeah.
I can too. So what could go wrong? Woo! London's huge and powerful. Yay! This is great. No! It's not great. Here's the thing, is growing too quickly.
Yes.
Just think about the limited infrastructure of the 18th and 19th centuries. So, in terms of housing, obviously, the housing building boom was happening. It was in full swing. People needed places to live. New houses that were being built in, like, outer suburbs were being occupied by better off occupants who could afford to live in the suburbs and travel back and forth to central London for work.
Right.
The poorer people had to live near their places of work to walk there, and the rent typically was cheaper. And there were situations where some philanthropists would build working class housing, but it didn't really put too much of a dent. And the housing conditions for the poorest of the poor Londoners were made even worse by the bigger population growth. The older, more original slums were pretty much confined to the city itself, but more and more of those slums were popping up.
Mm-hmm.
So what was once probably a middle class area turned into a slum pretty quickly. And these slum houses were, I mean, crammed with people from like attic to cellar.
Yeah.
Someone is living in every room. And these landlords are just cashing in on that.
Yeah, and it's probably like so crowded within each room too, like whole families and probably even multiple families and living in one room.
Yes. And as London modernized, the slums were demolished and there was no alternative housing for these people that just lost their homes.
Mm-hmm.
And this was due to a more laissez-faire policy, so more hands-off policy on social problems. And the state were like, sorry, you shouldn't be poor.
It reminds me of that scene from The Emperor's New Groove where the peasant is like pleading to Yzma for food. Mm-hmm. And she said, you should have thought about that before you came peasants.
That's exactly what it was like. They were like, that's not my problem. Have you tried getting money? Rude. So, there were a huge number of homeless people on the streets. And overcrowding, they lost their homes, they were poverty-stricken, and this was an embarrassment to the capital of such a rich nation. Funny how they only care that it makes them look bad.
Right.
That's how I thought of it immediately. I was like, I've never wanted to fight dead people so much in my life, but whatever. Anyway, the homeless population had very few options for getting housing. They could continue to be homeless, work, and then get rent, afford a place. They could scrape together a little money a little at a time and spend an occasional night in one of the very overcrowded, icky lodging houses in the slum district. They could try to get a place in a charity-run shelter, but these were very few and far between, very hard to get accommodations in. Or they live in the wards of workhouses, which were also not a great option. There, towards the end of the Victorian era, I will give them this. Queen Victoria did a whole lot to turn London around. She was given, from what I can tell, a pile of massive turd, which is quite fitting for this episode. And she really did. This time was a lot of leaps and bounds as far as making things better.
So, a lot of reform,
yeah. So towards the end of this era, there was a lot more awareness of the homelessness population, and there were more night shelters and hostels that were opened by charities and churches, and that helped ease the problem. So help is coming, but at this point, it's still really bad.
Yeah, it's sucky for a lot of people.
Yes. And as you would imagine, petty crime is running rampant through the unemployed, because a lot of people are unemployed. There's not enough jobs to go around. So how do you live? Fun fact, this is also around the time that the 40 Elephants gang started. And if you haven't heard that episode, literally, what are you doing? After this one, finish this one out, and then go to that one, okay?
It's great.
It's so good. I love those women. I love those criminals. At least I don't love just the men criminals.
Right.
I love them too.
Diversify.
I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to a criminal, okay?
It's Pride Month, you are crime sexual.
It's Pride Month. Oh my God, I forgot it was Pride Month. This is me being prideful.
For Pride Month, Emileigh's talking about shit.
Y'all, I had a different episode, and then I had to pivot halfway through, and I panicked because I got through this entire article, and then at the end of taking 4 pages of notes, they were like, a lot of this is hearsay.
Oh, great.
And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, no. So sorry, I had to pivot. Yay,
okay.
Pride Month. Anyway, back to it. So, move on to transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Getting around London was a shit show. How many times can we say shit in this episode?
Someone throw up a counter to count every time
seriously.
we say shit.
Go back and re-listen, and now we're counting. Okay, so moving around in London was horrendous. The streets were really narrow. They were very, very congested. They were super dirty. The traffic was not controlled at all. There were tons of obstructions, and it needed repair. It wasn't great. There weren't enough bridges to get from one side of the River Thames to the other.
We're decades before the traffic light.
Oh, we're so far ahead of the traffic light. We're ahead of any kind of lines on the road, any kind of order at all. We are still in horse-drawn carriages and wagons and buggies and things of that nature.
Sounds like every man and woman for themselves.
Yeah. And railways would come into London in 1836. So this is before the Great Stink. And they did provide a faster and less expensive way to stagecoaches, but they just added more street congestion because they weren't the underground ones. The underground ones wouldn't come until 1863. So what are we getting with all of this congestion? It's just filth. I mean, horses, for God's sakes, just walking up and down the road. And listen, I love horses, but that, unless you have the bags that catch their shit, there's another one thing, it's gonna get
everywhere.
icky. Yeah, quickly. So, and thankfully, the underground railroads would end up going to the suburbs and everything, and it was a huge help, but we're not there yet. So, on to really the main point of the waste, or of this episode, is really the waste systems of London. For centuries, the city depended on night soil collectors to empty cesspits. Now, a cesspit is a covered underground holding tank or pit used to collect and temporarily store raw sewage and wastewater from buildings that lack connection to a public sewer system. It is a septic tank you have access to, pretty much. It doesn't have a septic tank is an enclosed system that flushes through lines into the ground. This was just a hole in the ground with a lid, and you pour the shit, ding ding ding, into it.
It's a well for poop.
It's a poop well.
A poop well.
Yes. So these men, who literally, it was their job, they would come and collect. They would get it out of there, and guess where they were throwing it into?
The big old river.
The street and the streams. And the river. Old rivers like the Fleet and the Tyburn basically just became open sewers at this point. And they fed into the Thames, which was a source of drinking water and washing water.
Oh, no!
Oh, Morgan.
No wonder everyone died from cholera.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get into cholera.
Mm.
More people equals more waste. And
Yes.
remember this incredible expansion of people. London was not prepared. In the 1850s, waste of all types ended up in this river. There was human urine and feces, dead animals, thrown away food, industrial waste from riverside factories, and bodies because people just drowned in the river.
Oh my god.
On top of the manure from the horse-drawn carriages in the streets.
Oh my god. My eyes, Emily, my eyes are starting to water. This is awful, and I know you're not even at the worst of it yet.
I know.
Oh, I'm so
Okay.
nauseous.
So we'll get on to some laws. So the Building Act of 1844 did ensure that any new building had to be connected to the sewer system that was in place. There was a sewer system already in place. So any new building after 1844 had to be connected to it. No cesspools. And the commission that was in charge of that also set out to get rid of the cesspools to connect existing homes to the existing sewer systems. But Emily, you said there's already a sewer in place. Like, that should help, right? Nah. They were shit built. Pun intended. I literally wrote that.
Shit built.
Another point. They were not built well. They were not built to last. And raw sewage would end up just seeping through and into the river. And then the development of the flushing toilet happened. So that's just even more faster.
From Thomas Crapper.
From Mr. Crapper himself. And there was there was a pathologist, John Simon, who made sure that the sewers were regularly flushed as like a policy, which you would think that would be a good thing, but then that's just making everything go into the Thames faster.
Yeah, because this is before, like, people knew germs existed and before, like, water treatment plants.
Yep. Now, before we get into some germ stuff, let's talk about London's health and safety environment at this time. Mm-hmm. Disease was, rife. It was everywhere. We're talking cholera, tuberculosis, typhus, smallpox, and even scarlet fever. And the Lancet even described London as the doomed city.
Oh, God.
Because of the disease that ran rampant. And even London's churchyards were a huge problem because the graves were crammed full, like multiple burials in one grave. They were on top of each other and they were very close to the surface. And even without the population growing that fast, this would be a problem. Mm-hmm. You cannot live that close to decomposing bodies. It is not good.
That will kill you very quickly.
Yes, you will become one of the decomposing bodies.
Yes.
So, the better off Londoners would pay for doctors to come to their home, but there was very little provisions for the poorer population. Most people were even excluded from London's voluntary hospitals, and workhouse infirmaries had a very high mortality rate. It's not looking good. But they didn't know, like Morgan had just mentioned, that like germs in the water was a problem. They thought it was our dear old friend, miasma.
Yep. Bad air.
Bad air. Which is not completely wrong. There are airborne illnesses.
Right.
We went through one 6 years ago. But miasma ain't no thing. Like, it's not just bad air. Flowers ain't gonna cut it.
Right.
People.
Perfumes and smell good oils are not going to kill the viruses and bacteria that you're breathing or touching.
Correct. And one of the deadliest diseases at the time was cholera. That is not an airborne illness. So, a physician named Dr. John Snow, not from the famous book series, TV show. This was a real dude, okay? Real dude. He was born in London, and I could go on and on about his life. Like, he's really cool. I have some, if you want to watch some really cool videos about him, go check out the notes. There's a 4-video series that's really good about him. But he put forth the theory that this condition was actually waterborne, but his ideas attracted very, very little support and very little attention. And when I say little attention, no one listened to him at all. Like, they were like, you, Jon Snow, don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's reminiscent of Ignaz Semmelweis.
Yes. Yes. And this dude is doing, like, scientific theory after scientific theory. He's literally going to, like, ground zero for these specifically cholera outbreaks to try to figure out what the hell it is. So, how the hell was he going to prove that this was waterborne and not airborne? Well, he did an experiment where, and guys, I'm cutting out a whole lot of his process, but this is a good overview. So he did an experiment where he found a street that on one side of the street, the waste that was in the street flowed towards the well that people would drink from on that side. And then on the opposite side of the street, the water flowed away from the well that people were drinking on. On the side that they were drinking out of the contaminated well, it's also really icky to think that waste was just flowing down the streets.
Yeah.
Ew. On the side where it was flowing towards the well, pretty much everyone got cholera. On the side that it was going away from the well, only one person got cholera. And they still wouldn't listen to him. Still. And in 1854, so just a couple years before the Great Stink, this cholera outbreak hit so hard, and it seemed to be pretty random. Between 53 and 54, 10,738 people died of cholera.
That's so awful.
It was said that at one point the deaths were so bad that hearses were holding the coffins inside and on top. And that hadn't been seen since the time of the plague.
Because you said that was like a year. In a year, like over 10,000 people died,
yes.
right? Oh, that's awful.
Because cholera is no joke. You will be humming along, and then within a day, you are on your deathbed.
Yeah, it dehydrates you so quickly. It's such a dangerous disease. Like, because you are expelling very violently from all orifices.
Yes. And they said that back then, like, they were, like, trying to give these people water, and it wasn't doing it. It wasn't kicking in, but then they didn't know that, like, they needed sodium for the body to start really
retaining water.
Yeah. So that wouldn't come for a while.
Yeah, because people didn't know about electrolytes and dehydration. I mean, people drank beer because it was safer than water.
It was safer. That's so sad. So it was really funny. He was going around to different, like, workhouses, and he was like, how come your workhouse is in ground zero and, like, no one's died? And they're like, we have our own water pump. And it's like, cool. And then he went to, like, a brewery, and he was like, well, you're in ground zero. Why has no one died here? And they're like, we only drink beer.
We don't drink water. We drink beer.
We only drink beer. We work at a brewery. Are you kidding me? So he thought that the river was the reason because he said all the pain started in their stomach, and he was like, so it must be something they ingested, which is not correct, but did lead him in the right direction.
Yeah.
Fine. But he did, through an exhaustive search, find out that 2 water companies were supplying the affected regions. And they were called Lambeth and Southwark and Vauxhall companies. So Lambeth was one, SNV, we'll call it, is the other. And both of them took water from the Thames. But the Lambeth was getting water from above where the waste was being dumped in. And okay. SNV was getting it from below. So he found out that the affected people were being contaminated through S&V, but not really from Lambeth. So another clue. Mm-hmm. And then he, using kind of stats and plots of the deaths and the affected people, he was able to get the Broad Street pump narrowed down. And this pump was actually a well, and it was not connected to the Thames. But it seemed to be that anyone who used this well was affected. So they were able to get the handle taken off. It took a lot of work to do this. Mm-hmm. But they, through a lot of like investigative work, they figured out that there had been a mother who had lost a baby to cholera, unfortunately. And she had been taking the dirty diapers and throwing them into the cesspit at the bottom of the house. So contaminated diapers. And the cesspit was only a couple feet away from the well, and it was leaking through into the well. Yes. So that's how people were getting the germs from that. So he was like, okay, cool. It's not just the river. It is, these cesspits are a problem as well. And these were conditions that were affecting the entire city, not just this one little area in Broad Street. Broad Street was a great clue. So we've got bad housing, the homelessness, the unsanitary living conditions. We've got transportation that's really bad, so people are kind of stuck where they're at. I'll ask it again. What could go wrong?
That already hasn't gone wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea how it could get worse.
What do you think about the climate of Great Britain?
From what I know, it's very rainy.
Yes.
Tends to be kind of cool. Because it's so rainy, cloudy, there's not a lot of sun from what I've heard.
Well, in 1858, the world was like, screw y'all. The temperature hit well above 30 degrees Celsius, which is 86 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, no!
And stayed there for weeks.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
They don't have AC? Oh,
no.
God. Ugh.
So they're in hot shit now. Literal hot shit. The river also sank lower than normal, and that left the riverbanks, leaving sewage on the riverbanks to bake in the hot sun.
Ugh.
It, like, literally baked. It was reported that people were vomiting if they got too close to the Thames.
I feel like I'm vomiting now just hearing about it hundreds of years later.
Yeah. There was a scientist named Michael Faraday, and he described the scene, as he dropped a piece of white paper in the river to test the degree of opacity. It wasn't good.
I'm
and
sure.
he concluded that near the bridges, the feculents rolled up in clouds so dense that they were visible in the surface, even in water of this kind.
Oh.
Charles Dickens himself wrote, "I can certify that the offensive smells, even in the short whiff, have been of the most head and stomach descending nature."
Oh.
And it is reported that Queen Victoria and Prince Albert decided they wanted to try to take a pleasure cruise on the Thames, but then returned to shore just like after a few minutes because the smell was so terrible.
I mean, there's chunks and clouds of poop. Ugh.
Yeah. And dead things. Don't forget the dead animals.
I'm feeling so nauseous, Emily. This is so bad. Oh, you're right. This is so much worse than Woodstock 99. Oh, my
so much
God.
worse. Also a good episode, guys. But the leading article in the Illustrated London News stated, "We can colonize the remotest ends of the earth. We can conquer India. We can pay the interest of the most enormous debt ever contracted. We can spread our name and our fame, and we can fructify wealth to every part of the world, but we cannot clean the River Thames."
We're going to spread the poop wherever we go.
Spread it. Remember, I cannot state this enough. People did not believe in Jon Snow's water theory yet. So they were still using the fucking river. So, what the hell did they do this year? Oh my God.
Ugh.
Short-term solutions. If you could leave, you left.
I was literally about to say they went to the sea because the sea makes everything better.
Burn it down and move on. Otherwise, you didn't leave your house unless you had to. Which, think about how hot it is and you can't even open the window.
No, and there's probably like 45 people in a room.
Yeah.
In like the slums.
Curtains and blinds were soaked with chloride of lime to try to block the smell.
Oh, that's so dangerous too.
Yes. Tons of lime was spread into the Thames shore and near the mouths of the sewers to try to like dissolve it, and it didn't really do anything.
Lye is so toxic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, you know, you didn't quite. That was just short term. That's all you could do.
Yeah,
it's
just
not
try to cover it up or leave. Ugh, that's awful. My eyes won't stop watering.
I know. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Long-term solutions, though. It just so happened that Parliament was meeting in London that very hot, shitty summer.
Good.
Yeah.
They need to experience it.
Yeah, and experience it, they did. Discussions were held about possibly moving to like Oxford or St. Albans. They didn't, but they talked about it. And one of the people in Parliament said, by a perverse ingenuity.
Ingenuity?
Yes. I said it out loud earlier to Sarah, and I can't believe I just fucked that up so bad. SOS. Okay. By a perverse ingenuity, one of the noblest of rivers has been changed into a cesspool. And I wish to ask whether Her Majesty's government intend to take any steps to remedy this evil.
I would hope so.
And basically, someone replied, in short, that's not my department. But On June 15th, Benjamin Disraeli, I hope I said that right, tabled the Metropolis Local Management Amendment Bill. And this was a proposed amendment to an 1855 act that managed the sewer system. But this would basically beef it up and get things going. So the bill put the responsibility to clear the Thames on the MBW, which is, the Metropolitan Board of Works. And this stated that they had to make the outlets as far as may be possible and should not be within the boundaries of London at all.
So instead of the people moving somewhere else, they move all the shit somewhere else.
Yes. Yes. And that they are allowed to borrow £3 million, which is to be repaid a little at a time over the next 40 years.
Okay. That
bill went through in just 18 days.
Wow. They were like, yeah, let's fix this.
Yeah. Take the $3 million, get it out of here. So Sir Joseph Bazalgette, yes, he was a Victorian engineering, pretty much mastermind and a public health visionary. And he was the chief engineer of the MBW, the Metropolitan Board of Works. And he had begun his career there in 1849. And the MBW had been basically begging Parliament to let them fix the sewers for years at this point.
Are you kidding me?
No! But they didn't have the money for themselves or the approval from Parliament. So he finally had both.
Once it became their problem too, they're like, fine, take care of it, do it.
I can't, my poor sensitive nostrils again.
I'm throwing up in the chambers.
I never wanted to hit dead people so much in my life. Anyway, he literally had spent years drawing up plans just for Parliament to be like, is this worth it? So, after the meeting of 1858, they gave him full responsibility. Here's your $3 million. It would end up costing probably double that by the end of the project, but whatever. They reviewed over 130 proposals, came up with a solid plan, and they were like, let's do it. So, what is the system? It's a very intricate network of brick-lined tunnels. I do have like a rough map and some cross sections. And there were pumping stations. I believe there were 4 of them. And they kind of future-proofed it. They beefed up this thing so big that it was like, we could take 4 or 5 times the amount of people for this system.
That's very
good
forward
for them
thinking.
For thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Yes. It took 400 draftsmen to make these detailed plans and section views for the first phase of this building project.
Damn.
And there were a couple areas that were kind of tricky because they were low-level areas, so they decided they were going to take the sewage from a low level, pump it up, and then let gravity take it down and out.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a 2 feet per mile gradient.
Okay.
And the new system funneled all this waste downstream via the pumping stations and dumping it east of London. So in the very lower reaches of the Thames. So unfortunately it is still going into the Thames.
So
but
people downriver from there are still screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately. By the time it was built, the pumping stations used the biggest steam engines in the world.
Wow.
It had 1,100 miles of drains under the streets.
Damn.
And it had 82 miles of new brick-lined sewers.
I bet there were a lot of jobs that people were able to get.
Tons of jobs. And there were a few small rivers, like the Fleet, that are now known as lost rivers. They were completely lined with brick and covered over and became part of the sewer system.
Okay.
So they used 318 million bricks.
Wow.
Thousands of laborers, and they had to dig these by hand. And the demand for these workers drove up bricklayer wages by 20%.
Wow.
So they were making some good money.
Yeah.
They also used very strong water-resistant Portland cement, which is how the sewer system even survives to this day, is the fact that they use good quality cement. This is still being used, guys.
Wow. Hopefully not the poop being pumped into the river, but
I hope they did something different with that. But
yeah.
Think about it. They had to take a very, very large established city, rip it up street by street, build the sewers under houses and buildings that are already there, connect them all to the existing sewer system and expand on it, and reroute the dump miles away.
That's so
it was
impressive.
A hell of a feat.
Yeah.
Also, while they were at it, they changed the face of the Thames. So 7 kilometers of riverside land was actually taken. So they were able to build on it.
Okay.
Because they built the walls that hold the river in.
Okay.
As you can see.
Yeah.
And with that new land, they made new streets, including Shaftesbury Avenue, Northumberland Avenue, and Charing Cross Road. And they also built more bridges across the Thames. And that includes the Hammersmith and Battersea bridges. So they're kind of fixing multiple things.
Yeah, they're fixing the job crisis. They're fixing the transportation issues. They're fixing the sewer issue.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of impressive.
Yay, public works.
Yeah. And in 1861, the Observer described this as being, quote, the most expensive and wonderful work of modern times.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So, during this process, in 1866, so again, it takes a long time to do all this. So in 1866, 8 years later, there was another cholera outbreak. But this is actually a kind of pivotal one. I hate to say it, it only claimed 5,596 lives, which is still horrendous, but half of what it was before.
Yeah.
And it was only confined in the area of East End between Aldgate and Bow. This was the only area at the time that had not been connected to Bazalgette's system.
Wow.
And 93% of the fatalities occurred within this area.
And that is evidence to Jon Snow's theories that It's a waterborne illness.
Exactly. And the fault for this outbreak did lie with the East London Water Company. They were discharging their sewage half a mile downriver from the reservoir, and the high tide was bringing it like back in, contaminating the water. But like you said, this outbreak actually helped diagnose everything as like, this is waterborne. And it was the last outbreak of this disease in London.
Wow.
Because right after this, they got connected. Unfortunately, John Snow had died in 1858 in the middle of the big stink.
Oh, man.
So he was never vindicated. Like, he never in person got vindicated for his findings, which is sad.
That is so sad. Aw, damn.
But we remember him now. And the sewer system officially opened in 1865, and the project would not be completely finished until 1875. So again, takes a long time.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah. So when Bazalgette died in 1891, there were 5.5 million people living in London and in the inner city, which was over double of when he first designed the sewer system. And they were still more than capable of handling that. So he had done an excellent job.
Good for Bazalgette.
Now I got one more little thing. We're not quite done yet.
Okay.
After completion, in the 1880s, there were some more further fears of possible health concerns because you got to tweak everything.
Right.
And this led to the MBW purifying sewage at a couple of the different stations.
Okay.
Before releasing it. And also 6 sludge boats were ordered to ship shit to the North Sea for dumping.
Oh no!
The first of these boats were commissioned in 1887, and it was named the SS Bazalgette.
Oh, that's so shitty. Oh, he was still alive.
I know. The process of doing this remained in service until December of 1998.
Dumping waste in the North Sea?
Dumping stopped, and the incinerator was used to dispose of the waste instead. In 98, when we were alive. 111 years, they were dumping shit into the North Sea.
I am shook. They were having to cart poop on
Could you
boats.
imagine that job? Could you imagine that job?
You have a cell phone and you're having to take poop to the North Sea? This is awful.
FaceTime your wife from your shit ship?
Shit. That's horrible.
Oh,
that is horrible.
Oh my god. It could be a generational job. My great-granddaddy took the shit to the North Sea, and that's what I'm gonna do.
My great-great-granddaddy, my great-granddaddy, my granddaddy, my daddy, and me. We're all shipping shit.
And someday, son, you'll be a shit shipper too.
What's that? They built an incinerator. Oh no.
So you'll just be in hot shit now.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
That
Oh
is
my God.
probably... We've covered a lot of wild stuff. I think that is the single-handedly the craziest thing I have ever heard in my fucking life.
I want to know logistically, how does that happen? Do they have like a ship where like the bottom comes out and it just goes down? Like, or do they have to scoop it and dump it? Is it like a crane? Do they have to use a crane? It's a good question. Okay.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so... Oh my god. That's awful.
Oh god. The poor, like, could you imagine going home to your loving wife and she's like, all right, burn the clothes outside, use your outside shower, you can't come in until, oh my god.
All those poor fish in the North Sea are like, stop it. Can't take any more.
I don't know. Fish eat a lot of weird shit, literally
They do.
and figuratively. They might have enjoyed it.
But then people eat that fish.
Oh, gross!
Oh my god, wasn't it the North Sea that the UK got a weird thing about, like, fishing around, like, Iceland and stuff?
Wait. The wars?
The cod wars?
The cod wars? Okay, where was the cod? I don't remember.
Where's the North Sea?
I thought the cod wars were wild. The North Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, where's the North Sea?
Where is the North Sea? It's between the UK and Norway. So it's just on the other side of the United Kingdom.
They're just like, let's dump it by Scotland. They'll be fine.
Yeah, fuck Scotland, apparently. What the hell? That's so
This is
unkind.
horrible. This is horrible.
Oh, could you imagine taking your kids to the beach
Oh no.
and a turd floats?
Mommy, why is the sand brown and smelly?
Oh, gross.
Look at my
Gross.
sandcastle, Mommy.
Do like oysters like live there? Because like that gets all up in there. Because I remember Jeremy talking about like the oil spill
Yeah.
in the Gulf, like a long time ago in the Gulf, and he was like, he worked in a restaurant and they would drop some of the oysters and oil would come up out of them. Like,
Yeah. I mean, they're bottom
get
feeders. They're filters.
yeah, they.
I don't know
The
if people are eating this this whole story is so awful.
It keeps snowballing. It's getting worse. And the fact that this was within our lifetime. I'm having a crisis.
Up until almost 30 years ago. Not even 30 years ago. This was still happening.
111 years worth of shit. Guys, we gotta stop dumping stuff in the ocean. It is not.
Can we please?
No.
The only things that should be in the ocean are... I was about to say ocean things, but fish and sea creatures. Like, those are the only things. No more plastic.
Yeah.
No more shit.
Guys, salt water is not a filtration system, okay? Please. Please, I'm begging you.
Oh, no.
Do you want to know a fun fact? A couple fun facts.
Oh, God. Sure, I guess.
I'm going to bring it up a little bit, okay?
Okay.
There is a small bust memorial for Basilgate in London, so that's
Okay.
very kind. And I did say I was going to bring it up just a little bit. Okay, so London is still using this sewer system today. But with 9 million people living there, it is struggling.
Okay,
It's
so
struggling.
it could totally handle 5 million, but 9 million it's starting to max out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means millions of sewage is spilling into the Thames every year.
No! Ugh.
Especially after very extreme weather. Obviously, it's not as bad as it was, but
Right.
it is there. So Tideway is actually building a new super sewer, and it is going to relieve the pressure of the old system. So it should have been done. I saw an article that said it should have been done in 2024. So hopefully they have.
They had a lot of things going on.
They did. So, hopefully at least they're still continuing on that. I've seen pictures of, this huge system, which is awesome. So hopefully that is really good, because apparently after a lot of rainfall, it backwashes or something like that. And yeah, it ain't good. So don't drink the water in the Thames.
Don't go swimming in it.
No, it might be better, but that doesn't mean it's great, guys. No. But they're working on it. They're trying.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm looking at this picture of the Grim Reaper rowing his boat, and there's bloated animal corpses in the river. Their bellies are distended. It's pretty horrific. And I don't know what this little thing on the right is. Is that a fish that is... I don't know what that is.
I don't know what any of these animals are. I'm going to be honest. They all look like weird porcupines or armadillos, and I don't think those are in Europe. So, I don't know. It ain't good. And it's kind of interesting to see the artwork. The River Thames has an actual shoreline in this interpretation. And it doesn't anymore, at least going through London. It doesn't.
The all the pictures I've seen of it has the walls.
Yes. And that is actually pretty common in cities nowadays. Mm-hmm. Chicago's like that too.
Right.
So that's to date, the shittiest episode I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Hope you weren't trying to enjoy a meal during this.
Yeah. I hope you weren't enjoying your Pride Month, because I just shit all over it. I'm so sorry.
Well, you know what?
Mean to.
Everyone poops, and that's the great unifier, right?
That is.
No matter if you're gay or straight or trans or cisgender or asexual or non-binary, we all poop.
We do. And you know what? Moment of silence for all my IBS girlies out there, because I feel you. I understand. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I hate to say it, I enjoyed the shit out of this episode. I did.
It's fascinating. This was absolutely fascinating episode. I was hooked. I was like, what's going to happen next? And I wanted to puke. So there's a lot of emotions going on in here. I'm not kidding you guys. There were a few times Emily was describing things, and I was having to wipe my eyes because my eyes just would not stop watering from just hearing the gross.
I've been around Morgan enough to know her facial tells when it's gonna happen, and it wasn't looking good there.
No, there were a few times I was thinking if it gets worse, I'm gonna have to take a break, and I might have to take a few minutes to get rid of this nausea because it was getting really bad.
Yeah. So freaking bad. Ugh. And also, if somebody wants to tell us how many times we said shit, that would be awesome, because I'm very curious now.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Please do a tally. We'd love to see that.
Yes. So, should we do socials?
Let's do socials.
You can find us on Facebook,
Ill-Equipped History Podcast group and page.
Instagram,
At Ill-Equipped History.
Gmail,
ill-equippedhistory@gmail.com.
TikTok,
At Ill-Equipped History.
and Patreon.
Patreon.com/ill-equipped-history. I think is tomorrow, the 12th, the last day of the 50-cent deal.
Correct. So your first month is 50 cents if you sign up and use the code by tomorrow. So get to it. Get to it. You won't regret it. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of real fun ones. Oh gosh, we have so many. We did the Scopes trial a while ago.
Yes.
That one was super fun. The Tales of Survival, I still kind of sticks with me. That one was wild. Or just
the medical practices.
Medical practices. That one also will stick with me forever. I think of the whale a lot more than I should.
Oh, the whale. What is worse? The whale or the Great Stink?
I think the Great Stink. I'm not as grossed out by things with animals as I am with things involving humans, if that makes sense.
Fair.
And I see it with my dog. My dog is old, and as a pet owner, I've had to pick up his poop a lot. And yeah, I'm like, ugh, that's really smelly and gross. But if I had to pick up a human turd compared to, and I've picked up some, because I used to be a dog walker, I've picked up some massive dog turds. For some reason, I'm okay with it. If I had to pick up a human turd, I'd be like, no. It's just different.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never been one to be horrified by any kind of body fluids, like throwing up, blood, poop, anything. And as a parent, potty training, sometimes you just find a turd on the floor. I'm gonna be honest, it just happens. Yeah. So you get used to it, but I think what's really bothering me about this is the absolute overwhelming scale of it.
Yeah.
It's it's not even the fact that it's just so much.
Yeah.
So much.
If you tell me there was, I don't know, I think of, cows and horses and stuff. Horse poop, it's gross, but it doesn't affect me as much. If there was a river of cow poop, I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty gross. But the river of human poop, I was having a crisis. So it's just different for me.
Yeah.
So I think.
And then the dead animals.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told the story. The possum.
You have not told the possum.
Okay.
Oh no. At least it's in this episode. It's already gross.
It's already gross. So guys, it's going to get even grosser. I'm going to leave you on this. And if you stayed long enough to hear this, you're welcome. Or I'm sorry, whichever way it goes. So my parents used to own this place on the river. It was a camper with a permanent porch on it. And every summer, we would spend pretty much the whole summer there. And it's not very fancy, but we would have to go every spring and clean it out for the season. And Mom and I went down there one year. I was in high school, and I was helping her clean it up for the season. And we had accidentally left some trash cans outside with the lids off, so they had filled with water. And I was like, man, something is smelling a little funky. And I go to I'm like, hey, Mom, I'm going to go dump out these trash cans. I dump one out, and then I go to dump out the other one, and I realize something is literally floating in it. And I'm like, ugh, that's icky. So I take a stick, and I poke it, and the very stiff tail of a possum rolls out. I move its bloated body, and it rolls out like a flag, and I'm like, oh no, this is a dead possum. How the hell? This is a very large trash can full of water. Mom and I cannot pick this up by ourselves. Also, where are we going to dump a dead possum? Right? So we're by the river. And Mom and I are discussing what's happening. And I am like, I need to get the water out of it. I'm going to take a knife and I'll stab the bottom of this trash can to let it drain enough so we can actually pick it up because water's heavy. So I do that and possum water gets all over my hands. And I'm gagging. And I go wash my hands. And we put the lid on the trash can and we let it drain and it's gross. And we're like, fine, we're going to go, I guess, throw it in the river and let the river take it away. I mean, it's not the first time a dead animal has been in the river before. It's fine.
Right. I mean, we've learned from the Thames, this is a normal thing that happens, right?
This is apparently a normal thing. So Mom picks up one side, I pick up the other, and we walk down to the river and it's sloshing in the bottom. And we get to pick between ducks, and Mom was like, well, that one's lower. And I was like, that sounds awful because what if there's splashback? So let's go to the taller dock and be away from it. So we get to the taller dock and I open the lid and it's rank because now all the water that was like holding in the smell is gone. And it's awful. And Mom and I like count to 3 and we dump it. And the way this bloated corpse explodes on impact. There's guts. There's fur. The fur has taken itself off of the body. It's nasty. And the stench is so bad. And there was blowback. I'm so glad I picked the taller dock.
I mean, y'all had no idea it was going to explode.
No, it went. I mean, I don't know if this thing has like frozen and thawed in this trash can because it was all winter. We have no idea. And we're standing on the dock and we're going, we're about to gag. We had to leave. Like the smell was so bad we had to leave. And we came back hours later. And I've never, I have no words for what that smelled like. I can hear it hitting the water in my head to this day, like 16 years later. It was horrendous. I wish this on no one.
I mean, I still remember the time you told me the story and you and your mom were just like possum water and then both started making retching noises. And I was like, what's possum water? And you were like, let me tell you about possum water.
I could call her right now and just be like, possum water. And she'd be like, ugh.
Oh, what a horror show.
Oh my God. It was probably the most traumatic thing I've ever experienced. Oh my God. So anyway, I'm glad I got to leave you with that. We should let y'all go, I guess.
Yeah, we'll leave you with possum water.
Possum water, and let your sewage drain. Not in your drinking water, please.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, bye!